in the mist-shrouded peaks of the Kunlun Mountains, where the wind whispers secrets older than time, there lived 3 monks. In the great scrolls of the monasteries, their real names were never written. They were known by no titles of rank or scholarly achievement. They were simply the 3 laughing monks. They were a walking paradox, men who possessed nothing, yet seemed to own the entire world. They understood a secret that the emperors in their golden palaces and the scholars in their ivory towers could never grasp. They knew that words are often walls, and that silence is often too heavy for the common soul to bear. So they chose a 3rd path. For 40 years they traversed the dusty roads of the Middle Kingdom. They walked through the emerald rice paddies of the south, where the air was thick with the scent of wet earth, and across the jagged, frozen plateaus of the north. They were always together, a triangle of joy moving through a landscape of human worry. Most spiritual teachers of that age spoke of the middle way or the 4 noble truths. These 3 never preached, they never quoted the sutras. They had realized that the most profound truths are not heard by the ears, but felt by the spirit. They believed that laughter was the shortest distance between 2 souls. Their arrival in a village was a sacred, chaotic event. They would walk directly to the center of the main market square, where the merchants were shouting and the people were burdened by the cost of grain and the weight of taxes. They would stand there, perfectly still, for exactly 1 minute. Then the eldest would let out a small, high-pitched giggle. A few seconds later, the second would follow with a deep, rhythmic chuckle. Finally, the third would erupt in a thunderous, belly-shaking roar. At first, the villagers would stare in confusion. "Are they mad?" they would whisper. But laughter is a frequency. It is contagious. Slowly, the sternest merchant would find his lips curling. The most exhausted mother would find a snicker escaping her throat. Within minutes, the entire square, the dogs, the children, the soldiers, the beggars, would be doubled over in a collective explosion of mirth. For that brief window of time, the past was forgotten and the future was no longer terrifying. There was only the now, vibrating with joy. The monks thought through their bones. They saw that most people spend their lives carrying imaginary boulders of what if and if only. By forcing the world to laugh, they shattered those boulders into dust. They saw life as a grand cosmic joke, not a joke played on us, but a joke played for us. To laugh was to say yes to the universe. When the laughter eventually subsided, the monks would pick up their walking sticks and disappear into the mist, leaving the village transformed. The people would return to their work, but their hands felt lighter and their hearts felt wider. The years turned into decades. The monks grew old, their skin becoming like wrinkled silk. One winter morning, in a village blanketed by a heavy, silent snow, the youngest of the 3 monks sat down beneath a gnarled cedar tree and quietly left his body. He died with a smile so wide it looked like he was keeping a secret. The news spread like wildfire. Thousands gathered to witness the funeral of the holy fool. They expected the two remaining monks to be in deep prayer or somber mourning. Instead, they found them laughing harder than they ever had in their lives. "How can you be so cruel?" a village elder asked. "He was your brother." The oldest monk wiped a tear of joy and spoke for the only time in recorded history. "He won. Yesterday, on our way here, he bet us he would die first. He has beaten us to the ultimate joke, and he left us a final gift." Tradition required the body to be washed, but the monk had left a note. "Do not change my clothes. I was never dirty for a single day. I laughed away the filth of the world." As they lit the funeral pyre, the crowd stood in breathless silence. But as the flames touched the tattered robes, the air was suddenly filled with a series of deafening bangs. The monk had hidden hundreds of ancient fireworks inside his pockets. The night sky turned into a kaleidoscope of red, gold, and turquoise fire. The mourners began to gasp, then chuckle, and finally they roared with laughter along with the two monks. In his death, he had reminded them one last time, life is a celebration. You see, your joy is what makes you alive. It is the only thing that survives the fire. So today, look in the mirror, smile at the mystery, and remember the three monks, because your laughter is the only prayer the universe really needs to hear.